A young Andean boy gazes at a majestic rainbow-feathered parrot soaring over the misty peaks of the Bolivian Andes. Deep in the heart of Bolivia, where the jagged peaks of the Andes meet the emerald embrace of the Amazon, there exists a tale passed down through generations. It is whispered in the flickering firelight by elders, sung by the river's rush, and painted in the hues of the morning sun. It is the legend of the Andean parrot, a bird unlike any other, whose feathers shimmer with all the colors of the rainbow. It is said that a single feather from this mystical creature holds the wisdom of the earth, a gift from the spirits themselves to those deemed worthy. Many have searched for it. Few have returned. This is the story of one such seeker, a boy named Tupin, who journeyed beyond the known world to find the fabled rainbow feather, not for riches, not for power, but for the survival of his people. The drought and the dream. Tupin was no stranger to hardship. His village, nestled in the foothills of the Andes, had thrived for generations, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the land. But now, the rivers ran dry. The once green fields cracked under the relentless sun. Crops withered. The llamas grew thin. The elders spoke in hushed tones of an ancient imbalance, a shift in nature's harmony. The people made offerings to Pachamama, the Earth Mother, but no rains came. One night, as Tupin lay on his woven mat beneath the stars, a strange dream visited him. He stood atop a great mountain, the wind singing in his ears. Before him, perched on a craggy rock, was the Andean parrot. Its feathers shimmered, red, blue, green, gold, a living rainbow. The bird's voice was like the rustling of leaves. The world is out of balance, child. Seek my feather, and the path will reveal itself. Tupin awoke with a start. His heart pounded, his body tingling with the weight of something greater than himself. He knew what he had to do. The journey begins. At dawn, Tupin gathered his belongings, a small pouch of dried maize, a water gourd, and the carved flute his father had given him before he passed. He wrapped himself in a warm poncho and tucked a small knife into his waistband. His mother, wise and kind, did not try to stop him. She only pressed her hands to his face and whispered, "Let the spirits guide your steps, my son." The village elders blessed him, and with their words echoing in his heart, he set off into the unknown. Deep within the Bolivian jungle, Tupin encounters a mysterious red fox that seems to know more about his journey than he does. The jungle swallowed him almost immediately. Towering ceiba trees loomed overhead, their roots twisting like ancient serpents. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming orchids. Strange cries echoed through the canopy. Tupin followed the river, knowing it would lead him toward the mountains. Days passed in a blur of green and gold. He feasted on wild fruits and drank from hidden springs. Fireflies danced around him at night, their glow like tiny stars. But the jungle was not without its dangers. One evening, as he rested beneath the shelter of a giant fern, a shadow moved in the underbrush. Tupin's muscles tensed. A pair of glowing amber eyes fixed on him. A jaguar. Tupin held his breath, willing himself to be still. The great cat stepped forward, its sleek body rippling with power. Just as it seemed ready to pounce, a sharp bark echoed through the trees. A red fox darted between them, standing between Tupin and the jaguar. The cat hesitated, then, as if understanding some silent command, slunk back into the darkness. Tupin exhaled shakily. The fox turned its keen gaze on him. "You seek the rainbow feather," it said. Tupin's heart nearly stopped. "Why, you can talk." The fox chuckled, a low, knowing sound. "Many things speak in the wild, if you listen." Tupin swallowed hard. "Do you know where the Andean parrot is?" The fox flicked its tail. "I do, but the journey is long, and the path is perilous. Are you ready?" Tupin's fear melted away. He squared his shoulders. "I am." The river of spirits. Guided by the fox, Tupin traveled deeper into the wilderness. They followed the river as it wound its way through dense jungle and rocky ravines. One morning, they reached a place where the river split into two. The left path was wide and calm, the water reflecting the sky like a mirror. The right was narrow, its waters fast and churning, disappearing into a thick mist. "The easy path leads to nowhere," the fox said. "The true path is never without trials." Tupin nodded and stepped toward the rushing waters. As soon as his foot touched the riverbank, the mist thickened. Shadows twisted within it, whispers rose, soft at first, then louder. Tupin gasped. Figures emerged, flickering like firelight. They were villagers, people he had known, his father among them. His father's voice wrapped around him like a warm embrace. "You are brave, my son. But courage alone will not be enough. Remember, the feather is not a prize, it is a gift. Tupin's throat tightened. He reached out, but the mist dissolved, leaving him standing in the shallows. The fox gave him a knowing look. Come, the mountains await, the summit and the sacred bird. Days turned into weeks. The jungle thinned as they climbed higher, replaced by rugged cliffs and icy winds. The air grew thinner. Tupin's legs ached. His breath came in ragged gasps. At a hidden waterfall, Tupin meets the guardian of the waters, who sets him a test to prove his worthiness for the journey ahead. One morning, as the first rays of dawn painted the peaks gold, they reached the summit. And there, perched on an ancient stone, was the Andean parrot. Its feathers shimmered, an ever-changing cascade of colors. It was unlike anything Tupin had ever seen. The bird fixed its golden eyes on him. You have come far, child. Tupin knelt, heart pounding. I seek your feather, great one. My village suffers. The rains do not come. The parrot cocked its head. Many seek my feather. Few understand its weight. Tell me, what is wisdom? Tupin closed his eyes, thinking of the journey, the fox, the river of spirits, his father's voice. Wisdom is not knowing all the answers, he said at last. It is understanding that every answer must be earned. The parrot let out a low, musical trill. Then, with deliberate grace, it plucked a single feather and let it drift down. Tupin caught it gently in his hands. The return and the rains. The journey home was long, but Tupin felt lighter, as if the feather itself carried him forward. When he finally saw the village in the distance, his legs burned with exhaustion, but he did not stop. At the summit of the Andes, Tupin finally faces the Andean parrot, ready to prove his wisdom and receive the sacred feather. The people gathered around, eyes wide with wonder as he held up the feather. Abuelo Ilyas took it, his hands trembling. The spirits have blessed us, he whispered. That evening, the elders performed the sacred rites, the feather at the center of their circle. As they sang, a wind stirred through the village. The sky darkened, and then, the first raindrop fell. Then another, and another. The people laughed and cried, dancing beneath the long-awaited rain. The rivers filled, the land sighed with relief. A story for the ages. Tupin grew into a man of great wisdom, respected by all. He never sought another adventure, for he had learned that the greatest journeys are not measured in distance, but in the lessons they leave behind. As the long-awaited rain blesses the village, the people celebrate, knowing that nature's balance has been restored once more. And so, the legend of the rainbow feather lived on, whispered in the wind, painted in the sky after every storm, and carried in the hearts of those who listened.